right now. If I could show you somehow how much you mean to me, if you could only see, baby, you know I don't want anybody else. No one but you. You make me feel the way I do. All that I want is to have you to myself. No one but you. You make me feel the way I do, the way I do. Yeah, the way I do. Yeah, I lose myself when I think about you. I search within, and I want you to find me. I want you right now. If I could show you somehow how much you mean to me, if you could only see, baby, you know I don't want anybody else. No one but you. You make me feel the way I do. All that I want is to have you to myself. No one but you. You make me feel the way I do. Baby, you know I don't want anybody else. No one but you. You make me feel the way I do. All that I want is to have you to myself. No one but you. You make me feel the way I do. The way I do. Yeah, the way I do. Baby, I see you hanging with your friends, chilling day and night for days on end. Now you can't come see me tonight. Say you ain't got the time. I'm the last one you prioritize. Peeping your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? Baby, so can you take me on a date? The simple things you do to make me stay. Now it's like you don't even try. I used to wonder why, but now I'm left with no more tears to cry. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? If you want me the way I want you, put your all into all that you do. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. connection. Where's the kind of love that I used to know? Hey, babe, look what hole I am in. I am in. I try not to think too much about what might have been, might have been. How nice if I just could let you in, let you in. I know you could be my remedy, remedy. How long will you keep trying? I know it's not, babe, it's not easy. I guess deep down inside, I knew you could be my remedy. Be my remedy. You could be if I gave you my heart, you could tear it apart. And if I tell you how I feel, would you be good to me? Good to me. How nice if I just... Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, show mode. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Another beautiful day in the sun, or at least great to be alive. And my name is Nathan Ivy. Welcome back to the Nathan Ivy Show. My number, 513-873-7134. Now, today's show, I want to talk about numerous topics, including moving beyond bonnets. We spent some time talking about this yesterday, and I feel like we haven't gotten to the bottom of it. I haven't convinced enough for you that I am right and you are wrong. I'm joking. But Monique has released a response. I got a chance to check it out, and she is just straight up encourageable. My work is not done. Moving beyond bonnets, why Black people struggle to get ahead collectively. This is a great example of that. You want to know why we struggle to get ahead collectively? Look at this topic right here, because we love to divide ourselves. We need to talk about Black elitism, because that's what this is. Now, some of y'all might not understand that. Some of you might understand it. I understand it. That's what matters. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of stuff going on we must talk about. There's some movement in the push for reparations. Reparations. Joe Biden has done something that no other U.S. president in history has ever done. Obama didn't even do this. We must discuss. We must discuss. So please take a second to like and share the show. We already started, so I'm not going to play any more music. We good. We're going to jump straight into it. But first, let me start here. How was the last 24 hours? Hope you're doing well. Hope your family and them is doing well. Hope your cousins and them is doing well. Hope everybody in your world is doing good.
All right. That's what I'm looking for. I hope you're doing swell. All right. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. All right. That is my number if you want to chime in this morning on anything that we have been discussing. Now, I've got a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment this morning, and I got some other business that I must complete this afternoon. So I may end the show just a little bit early. Not a little bit early, about 9:30 or so, but I'm waiting for an update, and that might change between now and then. Okay, so I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm gonna have to make a quick move out of here to make sure I can take care of this business. A few things I need to take care of, including getting to the dentist. All right, a fresh mouth means everything. Did you know that? Look, small fact that you probably don't care about, but I can't do the show unless my mouth is fresh. I must floss, I must brush, and I must rinse before I do every show, or else I feel like the flows just ain't right. Little thing about me, but I know I'm slightly OCD. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Good morning, everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We got room for everybody. Everybody. In the digital Coliseum, we got unlimited seats. Unlimited seats. The Lakers are not looking good. They ain't looking good. No bueno last night. I didn't watch the game because I had other things to do and I turned in, but I watched the highlights this morning when I woke up. No bueno. It's a wrap for the Lakers. They got throttled last night. And LeBron James is 36 or 37. You're not the same player than even you were when you're 30 or 31. He out there with some young horses, and they got Chris Paul. It's a wrap for him. That's why when you see these teams that repeat and then three-peat, you got to give them props because it's so difficult. Number one, you got a target on your back. Number two, everybody's hip to your game. Number three, injuries. Injuries, 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 and more injuries. If AD was there, they would have ran through this team in 6 or 7 games. We all know it. Without AD, it ain't the same team. It ain't the same. They don't have the same horses. And that's the way the NBA actually is set up. It's set up for parity. You know what I'm saying? So you got an older team, a veteran team in the Lakers going against these young bucks that's hungry. They're younger players, so that means you can get younger quality players with less money. It is what it is. You know me, man. I love the game. LeBron James is still one of the greatest ever. If they don't get out the first round, think about this. He's been in the league, 20-something years? It'll be the first time he ever went out in the first round, ever. 20 years into his career. It is what it is. Props to the winners, man. It is what it is. Ain't no crying. There's no whining. It's just basketball, man. It's just basketball. How are you? 513-873-7134. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, I would love to hear your thoughts. Tonight, we're going to find out who is the next Vax a Million winner, $1 million scholarship. Looking forward to that. Hopefully, you got your name in the hat. Hopefully. Opinion. Council failed to hold itself accountable to voters. Betsy Sunderman. I ain't even read this trash. This dumb shit. It's just so funny, man. I might write an opinion op-ed to the editor in Cincinnati.com because this is some of the dumbest ish I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, it's official. The cicadas have hit our yard. I went out to my backyard, went around the side yesterday. It was a cicada apocalypse. They were everywhere. They're crawling up the walls of the home. I've got like a pathway like most people that goes from the front yard to the backyard. It was littered with cicada exoskeletons that they had shed and all kind of cicadas everywhere. The wifey tried to go around the house. She couldn't even do it. She came back. She went around the house. She went around the side of the house to put some water in the container to water plants, right? She came right back. She's like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. It's hilarious. Oh, man. There's all these little holes like this in the yard the cicadas use to emerge. I'm like, damn, I didn't know y'all was down there. They're every fucking where. And guess what? It still ain't a problem. It still ain't a problem. They got a smell to them. Can anybody smell them? I've got a very, very sensitive nose, so maybe it's just me, but they got a real, I don't know. It's like an insect-y smell. It's just, The smell is worse than anything else to me. For people that's got a really, really sensitive, nose or something like that. God bless me with a lot of different things. Hold on here. Mrs. Love Being Black is sending me a voice message. I can't listen to it. You can call me. You can call me though. Give me a thumbs up to make sure everything is sounding good. Roy writes, the Lakers are looking really bad. The Lakers are looking really bad because it is what it is. They just going up against a better team. Injuries are a part of it. Ain't no crying. It is what it is. You either win or you lose. Everybody know I'll roll with LBJ, but we're seeing him at the end of his career. One of the greatest careers of all time. All right. The greatest of his generation. It is what it is. I want to see the Lakers repeat, but that's not going to happen. It is what it is. There's a YouTube channel called House of Highlights. I check them out a lot of times. I watched like the first minute of it. I'm like, oh, this is going bad. Then I flash forward to like the third quarter. I'm like, oh, this is real bad. Then I flash forward to the fourth quarter. I was like, ooh, in the dirt. It is what it is. 30-point beat down. They got some young horses. And the Lakers have been dealing with all kind of injuries. LeBron was out for about a month or so. I mean, it's hard to get chemistry. So I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. It is. Okay, thumbs up. Good. Everybody can hear me. Let me jump inside the chop shop and say what's up. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Asking for prayers for baby Chopper. She is currently admitted to Children's Hospital. Oh, no, that is terrible news. That's terrible news. Ashley, I hope she is okay. I will definitely be sending some positive vibes and some prayers for sure. That is terrible news. Oh, man. Brandy writes, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Brenda writes to Ashley, sending prayers. Miss D writes, greetings. Hey, everybody got to send prayers to Ashley and her family for their daughter. She is currently back admitted into a children's hospital. I'm not happy to hear that at all. Miss D writes, greetings. Sharp Right, I might get caught up in my feelings right here, right now. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. On a soggy Wednesday. Yeah, it is a little soggy, but it's great to be alive, man. Nothing gets me down. Weather, nothing. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm not happy to hear about baby Miana at all. That might get me down a bit, but other than that, nothing gets me down. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. I think I read it already. Politically Petty Show, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Sending prayers to baby Chopper. Absolutely. Ray writes, grand risings all. And she sent some prayers to Ashley and her family as well. Just not good news. Long as my people right, I'm okay. Andrea writes, good morning, Nate and friends. Happy hump day. Good morning to you all. Samantha writes, good morning, all. Natasha writes, greetings. Is that raindrops? Is that rain? Or is that musical notes? I can't tell. Pat writes, good morning. Good morning to you. Tabitha writes, good rainy morning. God is washing away the coronavirus since they are dropping the mask ordinance. That's right. Midnight last night, the mask ordinance came to an end. And now you can damn near go back to being ignorant the way a lot of people already were. Is it wrong for me to put it that way? I don't think so. I don't think it's wrong to put it that way. These ignorant ass motherfuckers out here. And I mean, I don't know. It's like, I think it's happening too soon, but we are what we are. We are at where we are at. It is what it is at this point. I ran through the list of what happened yesterday at the end of the show, so you can expect it. I'm sure many of you who care about it have done your own due diligence and checked it out for yourself. It is what it is. No more mask mandate. You can do whatever you want to do. Some of these folks have been doing it anyway. And for me personally, I'm still going to remain masked up. When I'm out and about in certain situations, it's just how I just don't trust these motherfuckers. I'm going to go the Michael Jackson route. I just don't trust these mofos. And couldn't we have waited until the percentage of vaccinated individuals in Ohio was a lot higher? Let's say 80%. Yeah, we could have. But Mike DeWine has no spine. Speaking of which, I'm reading that members of his own party in the state of Ohio are trying to get rid of him. Mike DeWine has no spine. We deserve a much better governor. I don't know if that's the current mayor of Cincinnati, John Cranley, because he likes to make promises that he never delivers on. So I can't trust him. Has there ever been a more do-nothing mayor in Cincinnati than John Cranley? You tell me what he's actually accomplished. I'd like to hear it. Other than kissing a whole lot of FC Cincinnati and talking dumb shit. That's about it. You tell me what he's accomplished. And I can stand corrected. You know, if I stand corrected, I stand corrected. But I don't know what the hell he's done, quite honestly. I have no idea. Tabitha writes, good rainy morning. I think I read that already. Glenn's in the house as well. He says, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Kelly writes, good morning. Deborah writes, Deborah Nesbitt writes, good morning, Choppers. Good morning to you. Man, we had a humdinger yesterday. I was getting comments and DMs way after the show about my flow yesterday. And people got sensitive and try to make it personal. That's what people try to do. They want to make it personal. What about you, Nate? You didn't lost some weight, but before you lost the weight, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Nothing. But that's just how people are. You know, my skin is pretty thick these days. It's pretty thick, so I get it. But I'm back for more. I'm back for more moving beyond bonnets. Have you ever heard the term moving beyond tolerance? Well, we need to, as Black people, move beyond bonnets. I don't give a damn about what a woman. I'm calling out modern day women. All you modern women out here arguing you should be paid as much as a man and you don't have to subscribe to all these sexist rules and mores that they put on women. And some of these where y'all at in this conversation? Some of these same women out here saying Monique is right. You cannot be a modern day woman and think that Monique is right. It is a contradiction. It does not make sense. Part of being a modern day woman is not subscribing to the traditional values that society put upon you. And part of that conversation is for years and years and decades and hundreds of years, society want to tell a woman what she should look like, how she should act, how she should dress. She should smile. What's next? Monique gonna tell people, y'all should smile more. That's some of the most sexist shit I've heard in my entire life. And I am beside myself trying to understand how modern women think that this is okay. I don't understand it. Monique has put out a response video. She heard the critics, and she told a little story about how Patti LaBelle pulled her to the side one day and checked her and told her about something. And she said she ain't sugarcoated, she just told me. And she used that as an example to explain the way she talked about it. And it still don't make sense. You know, one thing that I heard in a conversation yesterday, and this happens a lot when people resist the truth and resist the flows. They'll start making the conversation whatever they want to make the conversation to be. They'll change the conversation entirely to fit what they think and what they say. Let's take it from the top. Monique said she was at the airport, not at a job fucking interview. Everybody know when you go to a job interview, you should dress to impress. That's not the conversation. Monique said she was talking about women going to the grocery store. We're not talking about people that's going to the job. That was never the conversation, but people tried to change it. You know, Nate, my mama told me that whenever I go to a job interview, you should always wear a tie. That was never the conversation. Monique made a blanket observation about all the women in the airport of all places. You ever been to the airport? People dress for comfort. White people dress for comfort. White people don't do this shit to each other. They worry about the big shit. This is some Black people shit. We need to move beyond bonnets. This is a great example. This is a microcosm, but this is a great example of why Black people struggle to get ahead collectively, because we in our own way. It ain't the white folks all the time. It's some of us with this dumb shit, this Black elitism. I'm better than you because I don't wear a bonnet. You ain't no better. I'm a queen because I don't wear a bonnet. That's not what makes you royalty. I've got pride because I don't wear slippers in the grocery store. That's not where pride comes from. Pride, say it with me, family. Pride comes from within. Not what somebody else is telling you. That is the most sexist shit I've ever heard in my life. I can't believe that women are down with this. I can't believe y'all. I am disgusted, as Fame would say. I give you credit, bro. I'm beside myself. I just don't understand this. Where are the modern day women? Where are the modern day women? If a man had said this, y'all be saying it's sexist. It's just as sexist because a woman said it. There's no difference. When men be like, yeah, y'all should smile more. You should be more friendly. What do modern day women say? What the fuck? I don't got to smile. If a man had said, you know what? I go to the airport and all these women out here looking rough, you ain't royalty. You would have said, I determine what's royalty. But because it's a woman, y'all giving her a pass. We don't do passes in Wakanda. We don't do that. We don't do passes in cyber Wakanda. We keeps it Rizzle. I got to keep it Rizzle with you. So we need to move beyond the bonnets. I don't give a damn. It's funny because I was at Dollar General in Walnut Hills yesterday. I was picking up some cleaning shit. I got all kind of projects going on in the house. You know what I'm saying? You just look at your home and be like, this ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Some shit got to change. That's where I'm at right now. It's going to be a week-long project, but I'm about it. But anyway, I tell you, I got a little OCD in me, man. It's just sometimes that shit just got to change. But anyway, so, and again, I never really paid attention to this before because I mind my own damn business. I don't really worry about what somebody else got on. I don't really judge people. I walked in, I saw a sister with a bonnet on. And I thought, I just chuckled to myself. And I just imagine walking over to her and saying, you know what, sis? Hey, sis, can I talk to you? Oh, by the way, you look beautiful, queen. Well, you're almost a queen. Can you take that bonnet off? She would have hit the roof. And for all these women out here talking about, oh, Monique is right because my grandparents raised me a certain way. Stop it. Stop it. Put a lid on it. If you really feel that way, then what you need to do is start a GoFundMe. So when you see these sisters dressed a certain way, you can actually give them some money so they can go dress the way you think they should be dressed. The nerve. The absolute nerve. Where are the modern day women? I want to hear from modern day women this morning. I don't want to hear from none of you traditional women. Society's taught you to keep your head down. Don't look people in the eye. Subscribe to whatever society tells you to do. I want to hear from the modern day women that's free and live their life the way they want to by their own standards. That's who I want to talk to. That's what I want to talk to this morning at 513-873-7134. Where are the modern day women that don't subscribe to what society tells you you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to look and smile? Smile. Don't wear a bonnet because you ain't a queen. It's the stupidest shit. I thought about it now. I sat down after the show and I sat here. The mic was off and so was the camera. And I just thought about and I looked through the comments and I thought about it. And I thought about it. And then I thought about it some more. And then I realized, no, I was right from the beginning. That's what I realized. Yeah, I was right. The hell? What is wrong with y'all? Hold on, let me play this for you. You need to see this shit, man. Hell, moving beyond bonnets. Oh, boy. Yeah, she put out another video in which she was telling people like, look, here's what you should do. She put this on Instagram. You want to hear this? You can follow her on Instagram at The Real Mo Worldwide. She got 1 million followers. I think that's significant. You want to see this? Let me play this for you. You need to see this. It's going to be very important for our conversation this morning. Again, all you traditional women that let society tell you what to do and how to be and how to act, I don't want to hear from you this morning. I only want to hear from modern women that set their own rules, set their own standards, right? And dance to the beat of their own drum. That's who I want to talk to. Because yesterday I talked to not a whole lot. I mean, we had a couple women that was on point, but some of y'all was straight from the church, straight from that traditional way of looking at things and letting the world tell you who you are. I mean, those women are not going to understand what I'm saying. I already understand that. You're not going to get it. You're going to resist it because that's what you've been conditioned to do. I get that. It ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. Y'all ready for this? It's only like 4 minutes long, so I think we can play all of it. This is on her Instagram. Let's rotate.
Hey, my sweet babies. I've been thinking long and hard about what I'm going to say in this post. Because the post that I did Friday in reference to us being the best us that we could be, it rubbed some people wrong. But I want to share this with y'all. And there were two people in my life that, had I taken a different attitude, I could have felt like they was rubbing me wrong. But I'm glad I took the attitude of appreciation and gratitude because they tapped me. And that was Patti LaBelle and Margaret Avery. Patti LaBelle had to tap me one night. We were getting ready to do a show, and I was in my feelings over some shit. And that woman had to come tap me and tell me, get myself together. And she didn't tell me with lollipop kisses and pancakes with syrup all over. She told me what I really needed to hear. And I was grateful for that night because it impacted my life. Miss Margaret Avery, I was grateful the night she called my dressing room. And she said to me, baby, focus on getting some more of that weight off of you because I see what you're doing. And I'm glad those two women love me enough that they would go out of their way to talk to me in a way that aunties, mamas, big sisters talk to their little sisters, nieces, grandbabies, daughters. I was grateful for that because it allowed me to think about things differently. Never once did I think those women were trying to be offensive. Did I think they were trying to be nasty or mean? I thought what it was nothing but love. So for you babies that have...
All right, let me stop right there. Stop right there. There's a big difference between somebody pulling you to the side. Let me break this all the way down because I'm not going to let her get away with this. We don't let you get away with that dumb shit in Cyber Wakanda. We don't do that. I'm not going to let Monique get away with this. There's a big difference between somebody pulling you to the side on a one-on-one tip and putting out a viral video in which you make a blatant statement about generalizing about black women who wear bonnets and scarves and all this kind of shit in public in general. Don't nobody in this audience act like that's the same thing, because it's not the same thing. There's no difference. I mean, there's a huge difference. It is not the same thing. Secondly, there's a big difference between pulling somebody to the side and say, hey, baby, you need to work on that weight, and saying you ain't a queen because you got too much weight on you. Don't act like that's the same. Please stop it. It is not the same. It's 1,000 worlds apart. It's 2 universes apart. It's 3 dimensions apart. It is nowhere near the same way, the same approach, and people are not going to take it the same way with the 2 different approaches. You go to somebody one-on-one and say, damn, look, Monique, I'm Patti LaBelle, and what she just said, look, Mo, you got a great thing going on, but you need to drop a few pounds. I'm just telling you. Or somebody puts out a video saying you ain't a queen because you got too much weight on you. Which are you going to accept? Exactly. Please stop it. But we're going to continue with this. I had to make these points. That's what I do.
Taking offense to what I've said, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with y'all being in your feelings about it. I'm okay with that. Because when you love somebody for real, I know y'all will get over that. And when y'all say, we will cancel your ass, well, they've tried that. And I'm still here to let y'all know I love you. And ain't nothing you can do about that. I love our community. And ain't nothing you can do about that. So if you're offended because I've said to you, you're a queen and you're beautiful, and when you wear that damn bonnet and your pajama pants and your slippers, anywhere you go, don't you know you block your beauty? Don't you know you block your beauty? Let your beauty be seen and shown. See, remember the time we were raising hell because they didn't want us to wear our natural hair? They didn't want us to do the things we wanted to do with our natural beauty? Now, why ever would you block it? Why ever would you block it?
She's trying to clean it up.
I'm unapologetic about what I said because I said it with nothing but love, and I said it with no judgment. For the sisters that got it, I'm glad. For the ones
She said it with no judgment. Stop it, Monique. Stop it, Mo. It was nothing but a judgment. It was 100% a judgment. And I appreciate she trying to clean it up. She dancing. I'm nowhere near trying to cancel Monique. That's not that serious. It's just a conversation. In fact, as a member of the media, it's great. Let's give us something interesting to talk about rather than the usual. I'm here for it, as you could tell. You know what I'm saying? But please stop it, Mo. Please stop it. Please stop acting like you said to black women what Patti LaBelle said to you, because it's not the same. If Patti LaBelle would have walked in there and said, look, sis, you ain't a queen until you drop some weight, she never would have been able to hear what she actually said. She never would have accepted. Like, wait a minute, I ain't a queen? Again, stop it. Stop it.
that didn't, I'll wait. But please know, Aunt Nikki gonna be right here. And when I gotta talk to you again, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do my part. And if I gotta tap you, it's a love tap, baby. It ain't no tap for me to kick your ass or be smart, because some of the responses y'all have given, I just know that y'all are young babies and you don't know any better just yet. But because I do, I won't match your energy. What I will do is love us through it. So please know, I still stand by what I said. And to the women that has tapped me out, I'm grateful and forever appreciative that y'all took the time out to love me when you didn't have to. So I hope for you babies that want to leave your little comments under the bottom, say whatever you want to say, but at the end say, I love you.
Then we just misused the word love, man. Damn. Somewhere love is like, don't bring me into this shit. Damn. But what do you think? I see a lot of prayers up for baby Chopper, Miana. Man, still messing with me this morning, but you know, I got to do what I got to do. And she said, sent you a picture of what's happening this morning in Winton Terrace. Okay, let me check this out. Got to check this out. But what do you think about Monique's response to what she initially said, essentially? I want to get your thoughts. And she said she doubling down. She's trying to soften it, but I get it. And like I said, it ain't the same. There's a big difference between pulling somebody to the side. Like sometimes you want to pull somebody to the side, right? And then, hold on, let me see here. Whoa, snap, what is this? Look at this, hold on, I got to show you this. Somebody said this is what's happening in Winton Terrace right now. Winton Terrace is a neighborhood in the Cincinnati area. Hold on, I want to pull this up. Damn, they got the boys out there big. What is going on? Look at that. That's an image from Winton Terrace right now. What's going on? Are they executing some kind of a warrant? Oh, dear Lord. Dear Lord. Let me see if I can blow this up just a little bit. I don't know. Maybe. Is that a little bigger? Maybe not. See that? I see what appears to be a serious situation going on. For the person who sent this to me, what's the deal? What's really going on here? What's really going on? Let me know. 513-873-7134. I love to hear it. A lot of prayers up for baby Miana. A lot of prayers up. We put that on the screen. Linda writes, praying for Ashley and the family. Greater Cincinnati Choral Union, prayers to the family. Susan, prayers for Ashley's daughter. Tracy writes, prayers up for baby Chopper. Anthony writes, morning Choppers. Mrs. Love Being Black writes, send a picture to you. Thank you so much. What's the deal with that, Mrs. Love Being Black? Charles writes, prayers going up for Ashley and baby Chopper. Roy writes, he's done nothing but separate people. You talking about Mayor Cranley? I can see that. Charles writes, they're thirsty, Nate. The almighty dollar calls for an end to COVID mandates. Right. I get it. It is. Again, now that we are moving beyond COVID, to stay with the title, looking back, what we have learned is what I've told you. What I learned through COVID is that humans are way worse than COVID. Way worse. Way worse. It's not even close. It's not even close. If it was a race, it would be like Bo Jackson at his prime, versus I don't know. You tell me somebody who's really slow. Everybody know Bo Jackson was blazing fast with pads on at the apex of his career. Then he came to Cincinnati and the damn Bengals messed up his hip. All that good football watching we was doing, seeing his brother this prime. But you're right, Charles. It's all about the dollars. Money trumps everything else in human society. That's what we learned about COVID. Money trumps everything else. That's what we learned. Humans, when the last days, the biblical last days happens, it's going to be humans that cause it. It's going to be humans that blow up the planet or mess up the atmosphere or do some other dumb shit that gets everybody killed on the planet. It'll be us. It'll be us. We are going to set our own doom in motion. The Democrats and Republicans can't agree on anything. You can't turn to the politicians, even locally. The polarization, we've never been more polarized politically than we are right now. We can't even agree on basic stuff, like wearing a mask is a good thing. We can't even agree on basic shit. Look at the school board going back and forth about when they should send our kids, back into the fire, so to speak. You got school board members that don't want to eat with other school board members, but they'll send your kids back to school to eat in lunch with other kids as long as they ain't there. I mean, we've never been so fucked up as we are right now. we are at apex effery right now as a human race across the board. And we've never been more narcissistic and caught up with ourselves and full of ourselves as a human race as we are right now. Everybody thinks that whatever they want, they're supposed to have. Morals out the window. Morals, what is that? They don't even exist no more. We live in an anything goes society. Anything you want to do, you can do. Anything you want to do. Anything you think and you feel, because Oprah taught us this. I said this yesterday. Oprah taught us that whatever you feel you want, you deserve. At any expense. If that's at the expense of your marriage, you deserve it. If that's at the expense of your kids, you deserve it. If that's at the expense of your dignity, you deserve it. Whatever feels good is what we do these days. That's where we are. We at an all-time high to uffery. All-time high. We have never been more caught up with ourselves as we are right now. Everybody is a budding influencer. Everybody. Via these devices. I'm just telling you. That's where we at. And all of that means that we are close to the end, my friends. I'm saying we real close. Woody writes, Cranley, hell nah. Daryl writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Daryl. Tiff writes, hi, I said the same thing. I'm staying masked up. I don't trust these strangers. There were still a handful of people at the gym this morning, including myself, with masks on. I have gone to the gym with a mask on. And man, I have did soup, and everybody's different. But you can do walks, you can run, you can do all the exercises with a mask on because I've done it. Now, everybody's different. Like some people can't stand that because of their system or whatever, but some of these folks are just incorrigible. They just don't care. They care more about how they feel rather than the greater good. It's the percentage of human beings in this country that care about the greater good have never been at an all-time low. The percentage of Americans who only give a damn about themselves is at an all-time high. At an all-time high. Even in the black community. It's part of the reason why we struggle to get ahead collectively. Anthony writes, Nate, when you and the family are on those bike trails, remember, it's John you have to thank for them. Don't dare overlook his highest accomplishment, the bike trails. Tiff writes, Nate is reaching again. Am I? Cleopatra writes, to each his own. Glenn writes, somebody check the organic tea mug. Nate is on one. Time to bust out the black Thriller jacket, Nate. Hashtag disgusted tea. Y'all are too much, man. That's hilarious. Jenny writes, Pat LaBelle is the worst on that Mrs. I chopped that sucker off. Speaking of her African nose. Roy writes, this is not just about women. It's about our young men. Also, first impressions are lasting impressions. You never know when the opportunity is going to come your way, so you must be at your best at all times. Bonnets or do-rags. Roy is changing the conversation. Roy, I ain't picking on you, but that's what I'm talking about, changing the conversation. Everybody knows that first impressions matter. That's not the conversation. That's not what Monique said. But see, that's how people change conversations to fit their flow, to fit their viewpoint. Change it completely so it fits your argument better. That's not what she said. She said you're not a queen if you wear a bonnet. And I want to know what modern day women think about that. I thought modern day women, right, in a sexist society was all about you determining who you are, what your standard is. That's what I thought it was all about. I must have forgot something. Not subscribing to the traditional ways, the way the society looked at women and told women who you're supposed to be. I thought that's what a modern day woman was. I thought a modern day woman was all about that internal and not the external. Where my modern day women at? Where you at? On this topic, I don't want to hear from y'all traditional women. I heard from you yesterday. I had enough of you. Now, of course, anybody can call in. I'm just having some fun with you. But I just can't believe that modern day women that set their own tone, their own rules, would subscribe to this. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. But we got a call on the line, the first call of the morning. I want to go straight to it this morning. Again, you can chime in. I'll put the number up on the screen here. Where we at? 513-873-7134. Let's see who's on the line. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Good morning.
Hey, Kevin Samuels already said it. These modern women are trash. So, you can hear from them if you want to, but the traditional women are the ones out here getting married, getting men. The modern women out here being single moms, being trash out here. Nobody wants them because their mentality is just what you're describing in terms of being a bonnet. It's cool out here. Man, that's modern women bullshit. Trash can. And it was crazy because I learned that one of my family members, younger ones, subscribed to this bullshit. I had to tell her, like, look, you're gonna be with kids and manless if you keep doing this bonnet ish out here in the streets, because guys ain't wanting that. Guys want women who are friendly, fit, and feminine, who look good, with no bonnet. So modern day women can do that if they want to. They're gonna end up alone, dying alone. And my man Kevin Sims gonna hit the tap sign with the 21 gun salute and salute them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Now look, have you seen this Democratic ticket, bro? Total trash. Everybody hates it. Everybody hates it. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Everybody I've talked to hates it. Okay? I mean, in terms of the people who are really about the people. I mean, look, I'm a double agent out here. I talk to everybody. All right? The people who really care about the people think the ticket's trash. They're looking at Michelle Dillingham and Avtab Purival at the top of our revolution ticket. Look for Avtab and Michelle to start going out here, recruiting people like Stacey Smith and some of these other candidates to run under a ticket. Our revolution, that's Bernie Sanders folks, the turning all them. They down here recruiting. Michelle Dillingham at the top of their ticket for council and Avtab Purival at the top of their ticket for mayor. So just pay attention to that. Have a good day, comrade. I want to hear your thoughts on the other side about this ticket.
About what now? Okay, I didn't hear what he said. He said people think the Democrat ticket is trash. Really? I don't know. It said our revolution. Really? I'm vaguely familiar with that concept. I put fame up. That's not fame, though. That was Black Russia. My bad on that. My bad. I don't know. We'll find out. We got plenty of time to talk about that. Where we at here? Darlene writes, greetings, Nate, and good people. Happy Wednesday. Same to you, Darlene. Always good to see you. Brandy writes, good morning. Good morning, Brandy. Roy writes, everyone should be down with it. You representing your mother and your father each time you go out the door and how you were raised. Okay. You see, Cincy Tigers writes, say that shit, Nate. I agree 1,000%. No pass from me. Tiff writes, I thought moving beyond bonnet meant we were talking about something else today, but we are still talking about bonnets. Yes, we are. It's even bigger than bonnets. It's about our culture. It's about Black elitism. It's about standards. It's about modern day women, traditional women. It's much deeper. It's much deeper than just the actual bonnet itself. But Cleopatra writes, constructive criticism is a helpful way of giving feedback to provide specific, actionable suggestions. Rather than providing general advice, constructive criticism gives specific recommendations on how to make positive improvements. Constructive criticism gives is clear, to the point, and easy to put into action. Okay. Samantha writes, everyone does not know how to dress for a job interview. I see house shoes and ripped jeans. There's a time and place for everything. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Pat writes, prayers up to Pam Brown and Casey Brown. They lost their father. They did. I did see that. Condolences to both of them. Condolences to Casey. Very difficult. Fame writes, notice he quoted Fame Rothstein and not any of Fame's or the alt middle's haters. Step y'all game up. Damn, Nate, you're a husband that makes your own honey-do list. Terry writes, the natural women he wants to hear from, no perm. Cleopatra writes, there's a time and place for everything. Tabitha writes, I am a modern day woman. I am who I am. Toy writes, us modern day queens aren't devoting energy to this. My comment yesterday, and this comment is the most I've spent on it. Coming back for the next topic. Okay. Do you? Terry writes, get your hand off your hip and straighten the damn foot up and hood your head up. Huh? Justin writes, I went to a local high school and noticed many of my male students were dropping their pants or drooping their pants. A teacher said they had a relaxed dress code policy and assured me students knew how to dress in a work or professional setting. I saw some of the same students dropping their pants at their McDonald's job. Long story short, play how you practice, but they got the job though. They got the job. Terry writes, busted biscuits. Tabitha writes, but they pulled her to the side to talk to her, right? Susan writes, how ironic that she would address this wearing what she is wearing. See, I ain't gonna get personal. And see, that's the thing about other people's critiques, is that anybody can be criticized for anything. I don't care who you are. Somebody could walk up to you and say, brother, you should be wearing a suit and tie when you're out here, man. Be a king. You're not a king if you don't wear a suit and tie. How would people look at that? It's just all based upon one individual's viewpoint, and that's the problem with it. Let me see here. Tracy writes, OMG. Keith Cruther writes, good morning, shoppers. Good morning to you. Darlene writes, I understand, Mo. It do look tacky. I'm just saying it's a place and time for bonnets. How are we going to move collectively if we separate ourselves over something like bonnets and scarves? How are we going to do this? We ain't going to never get there. We will never get there because there's some people in our culture who feel like they better than other people based upon these arbitrary things. How are we going to get there collectively? People were saying we need unity in the community. We can't even agree on something as simple as that, let alone the bigger and more complicated issues. We are our own worst enemy in some ways. Tabitha writes, she admitted that she was tripping. That's why Pat LaBelle had to check her, not us, her. Okay. Roy writes, I don't think she's trying to clean anything up. She said what she said. I understand it and agree with it. You just always look your best at all times. Now, she tried to clean it up, talking about, oh, it's just love. I said what I said. It was love. It wasn't no love. That was your elitist critique. Somebody said it yesterday. What was it? Secondhand embarrassment. She got secondhand embarrassed. There is a YouTube channel called Comedy Height. It's very, very good too. You should check it out. It's called Comedy Height. It's a brother who I've tried to get on the show and he's yet to respond, who actually put it together. He does great work. It's very, very interesting. And they did a show about this yesterday. And so they had a panel, and one of the panelists, they're both comics, one of the panelists was like, yeah, I understand, Monique. Look your best at all times. You know, some of that elitist black people shit. And then the other brother was like, nah, be who you are, be comfortable. He told a story about how he was in the airport and he saw Monique. He said he was dressed in a suit and she had on some slippers. So would it have been fair to her to say that, him to say to her, look, be a queen. Why you got on slippers in the airport? It's fucking arbitrary. Stop it. Tracy writes, if you said what you said and meant that shit, there's no need to come and follow up with another video. See ya, Mo, FOH. Tracy, you're on point on this one, Tracy. Now, we ain't always on the same team with these topics, but on this one, we see eye to eye. Great minds think alike. You're absolutely right. She's trying to clean it up. I just want you to know this is about love. Well, if it's all about love, you need to start a GoFundMe, put it online so people can submit to get money from you so they can look the way you think they should look. That's just my advice to you. Before you go over to somebody in the grocery store and tap on the shoulder and say, look, sis, why you got this bonnet on these slippers? You should be able to come out with a $50, $100 to give to them so they can go look and go buy what you think they should be wearing. If you ain't willing to do that, then keep that shit to yourself because you don't really mean it. If you ain't coming with this and it's just a whole bunch of this, you don't really mean it. You're just being an elitist. That's all you're doing. Nat writes, I heard Jeff Pastor and Monique have some things in common. You are so you're wrong about that. Tabitha writes, she needs to get back to comedy, Miss Parker. Cincy Tigers writes, I'll protect my beauty for my flight and unleash it upon arrival to my intended destination. Mind your business. Exactly. Sarah writes, what's up with Biden and reparations, Nathan? What I miss? I'll get to that. Biden did something that no other U.S. president's ever done. And there's been some movement in the conversation about reparations. I'll share that with you as well. Terry writes, Kevin Samuels has muffled a lot of women messages to the masses. Has he? Tiff writes, is she supposed to go on a world tour pulling East Sister aside to take off the bonnet? This is her way of pulling you aside. Yeah, that's what she's supposed to do, Tiff. If what she should have done, if she was really about it. Because you got to go back to the original video. Monique said she was in the airport. She was going to something in Mississippi to a comedy show. And she saw all these black women, these young sisters with slippers on in the fucking airport. Everybody got on slippers. A lot of people do. They want to be comfortable. And she got secondhand embarrassed because white folks was probably looking like, oh, God. And then she felt embarrassed as a black woman, which is ridiculous. And my question is, if she cared so much, talking about she gonna tap you on the shoulder, then why didn't she do that? The story would have been not complete, but it would have been a bit different if the story was, you know what, y'all, I was on my way to Mississippi. I was in the airport and I saw these sisters and I went over to them and I said, look, sis, you a queen. Let your beauty shine. That's not what she did. She got her ass on that airport, on that plane, didn't say a word. It probably was just stewing inside of her like, I'm going to make a video. And she made a video. Tiff is trying to let Monique off the hook. We don't do that in Cyber Wakanda, Tiff. We don't do that. The question is, if she all about it and cares so much and got so much love, then why didn't she tap these sisters on the shoulder? You was right there. Because they would have gotten her ass. That's why. And she didn't want no smoke. And it was far easier to make a video after the fact talking about what you're going to do next time than to have actually done something in real time. That's why. Quit the game. Stop the games. Darren writes, Cincy Tigers writes, flew to Asia 2 years ago, a 20-hour flight. Child, please. I think I remember that trip, man. I love the pictures. I was all about them pictures, Cincy Tigers, man. I was living vicariously through you. It was dope. Seemed like you got a chance to really enjoy a different culture. We should all be so lucky. Darren writes, sorry, Mo, not buying it. Now go sit your ass down somewhere. See, he's going for it further than I would. Fame writes, to the strongest of all, shout out to the strongest of all choppers, Baby Miana, a.k.a. Baby Wolf. Now, see, he wants to adopt her. Now, you want to appropriate her, huh? Okay. It's all love. She can be Baby Wolf, too. Cool. That just means she got more people that care. That's always a good thing. Rachel writes, good morning, family. Sarah writes, looks like a SWAT vehicle. Yeah, it did. It was a SWAT vehicle, and it looked like a whole SWAT team that was, I guess they was maybe doing a warrant or something like that, executing a warrant over in Winton Terrace this morning. Man, I heard something that was wild. I was listening to, of course, I was virtually producing the Straight Talk Live podcast with Edna Howe. She's back Sunday mornings, give you something to listen to, 10 a.m. right here on Facebook. And she was talking with Cecil Thomas. It was actually a good conversation. You know, Cecil can be a long-winded. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He can be long-winded, but I thought that Edna did a really good job in keeping the conversation going and making it fresh because she's a pro. We got Fane Rothstein on the line. Fane, give me 1 second to finish this thought, and I'll come straight to you, brother. And this was interesting. We're talking about Win Terrace. I don't know if it's true or not, but you know that Cecil Thomas ran for mayor. He didn't win Democratic primary. He said that basically like 8 people voted in the primary in Winton Terrace. That's about it. You said he got 60% of the vote. Like 8 people voted. He got 6 votes in Winton Terrace. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, who's working in Winton Terrace to interact with voters over there? I'm sure there's somebody, but man, they need some help. You know, Cincinnati, Winton Terrace is never going to get what it needs if those numbers remain, if in fact that's true. It ain't going to never happen. We need some serious attention in some of these neighborhoods to try to engage voters for their own benefit. You know, you got a right. To my people in Winton Terrace, you got every right to let your voice be heard in these races. And the politicians, the political parties are going to discount you. They're going to overlook you as long as them numbers are where they are. It just blew my mind. I'm like, what? Really? But enough for me, more of you. Let's go back to the phones and say good morning and welcome to the show.
Hello, Nathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Fame. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
First of all, I don't appreciate you trying to insinuate anything about the baby wolf. The alt middle is for the children, first of all, and we've always dedicated our love and gratitude toward her.
Oh,
the
that's
baby
great
wolf.
to hear. Like I said, I mean,
Yeah,
you can never have too much love and support out here, so that's great to hear, brother.
You know, so your little statement was insulting. Talking about he's trying to appropriate her.
Yeah, you're trying to appropriate her, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's whatever. Hey, listen, you up here talking about Monique and the bonnet and black elitism, and then you segue into Cecil Thomas. Look at God. Look at God. Black elitism from a celebrity, black elitism from a politician. And it's that old black guard, that bullying generation of you young people will never live up to our standard, no matter what. That's that old ethos, no matter how they say it.
Sounds like Monique.
So couldn't it be
You just described Monique.
Yeah, and Cecil. Old Negroes always down in young folk. Cecil tried to throw half of black Cincinnati in jail with that weed law. And I don't care how long it was. As long as he's a politician, it's a part of his legacy. I think that's fair. Old black elitism, too worried about young people. Let these people live.
I got to pull your card. You only said this about Cecil because he hasn't responded to your email request for an interview. That's the only reason why you're saying this. I'm calling you out.
That's a gosh darn lie. I said this about it because he was old. First of all, he a former black cop, did 27, 30 years on the police force, ain't never mentioned no type of racism within the police department, although we know it exists.
I don't know if that's true.
Ain't never called out no one specific officer. You mean to tell me you went that long and don't remember an incident of an officer going ballistic, beating the hell out of a suspect for nothing? Remember, you're the guy who nearly altered the lives of many young black men in Cincinnati. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Without qualification, Nathan?
It is fair to say. Yeah, that weed law was some of the dumbest shit ever.
Right. And he's altering the life of another young black male, myself personally.
See, it's all about you. I knew it. It's all about
you.
It's
not. It's not about me. I was just trying.
He won't respond to you. You want me to reach out to him? I can't make anybody do anything, but if you want me to reach out to him on your behalf, I will.
Can I finish?
Yeah, I'm just answer that question when you
finish. I was just trying to I was being sarcastic and giving your putrid argument any type of weight. That's all.
No, you was telling the truth.
You
That's
know,
how
but
you
I
really
was making,
feel.
but it was a legit comparison. You know, it just happened to work.
Do
It
you
just
want me
happened to
to
work.
reach out
That's
to him
all.
on your behalf?
No, because I
Okay.
like the telecommunications with emails, the paper trail. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, I don't need a intermediary.
Okay.
But yeah, and this bonnet conversation is tired already because it's basically some Karen stuff. Mind your business, man. Leave people alone. These people walking around, and these young women walking around in bonnets, they ain't bothering you, Monique. You know, maybe you're having flashbacks because they are the person that you played in Precious. You know, you think of them when you think of that character, and you know you had to get, you know, that was such an evil character that you played that, you know, you've got PTSD. You know, some actors have said that. Lakeith Stanfield, didn't he say that? That he had some, you know, some mental issues after playing that snitch in the Fred Hampton movie?
Yeah. Judas and the Black Messiah, he did.
Yeah, you know, people go through that. Maybe that's what that is with you, Monique. You know, I think there's some of that going on. Like, leave these people the hell alone. But listen, you were talking about LeBron James earlier.
Yes, I was.
And I'm kind of disgusted with him and his team right now.
You lost some money?
Rich Paul is trying to shame white athletes into signing with Clutch Sports. He said white athletes won't sign with a black agent. And as soon as I read that, I realized this is why the GOAT debate is still on. You know, part of it has been nostalgia. Most of us saw Jordan when he was, you know, when we were 12 to 16 years old. You know, who was ever the best player when you're 12 to 16 years old is usually going to be the best player to you. But, you know, that block LeBron had in the finals, and then when he beat Golden State and brought them back from 3-1 against the team with the most wins ever, that should have solidified the GOAT conversation right there that he is. He plays more position. Everything Jordan can do, LeBron does it with more power. You know, however, he pushes dumbass narratives. Him and his team. They push really stupid stuff through the media, and it makes you hard to like him. It makes it hard to like him.
What stuff? What dumb narrative?
Further, what the situation with his house, getting the N-word spray painted on it or whatever, all that. It's like, you're LeBron effing James. You ain't got security cameras around your house. People are just randomly hopping fences. No, they didn't. The security camera didn't catch it. Didn't catch the act. Didn't catch the perps.
Okay, so how's it his fault because some people jumped the fence and spray painted the N-word on his house?
Because, like I said, it's a goofy narrative. I don't believe this happened.
Oh, okay.
You're LeBron James. You ain't got cameras around your house to show us, to show the police. If you ain't got cameras or armed security, you know what I'm saying? Your wife and kids live there, and you've got gazillions of dollars. Can't tell you how to spend your money, but I think a security camera or armed security would be a wise investment on a house that I'm sure is in the, you know, the double digit, you know, what, 8 figures, you know, what is that? Yeah, 8 figures, 10 million or more. Pretty sure it's a pretty expensive house. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
And then you're trying to shame these athletes now. Like, you know, there was a specific scene and He Got Game about this. Remember Ray Allen was talking to the white guy? Like, Ray Allen was like, "No, I think I'm gonna sign with a brother." You know what I'm saying? You're talking about millions of dollars. You should go with somebody who you trust and feel comfortable with. I think that's a dumb narrative to be pushing in the media by LeBron's team. That's what I'm saying. Jordan had one goofy quote ever: "Republicans buy sneakers too."
Yeah, but that was such a dumbass quote.
After that, he walked such a straight line. After that, he walked such a straight line with humility and grace. LeBron flaunts his privilege. He flaunts his privilege, makes it very apparent. Jordan, after the last dance, we saw Jordan didn't really have any privilege. It stopped with Jerry Krause bullying him as the GM. But LeBron bullies coaches. He bullies teams, franchises. And now he's come out here. I mean, yeah, he's got the school. I mean, but for what you've been, for what you've acquired and whatnot, I think that's kind of the least you can do. But it's very noble. I'll give you that. But on some level, that's kind of the least you can do, bro. You've been paid since you were 15. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? I just think the guy his narrative, the ones he decides to push out into the media, they always come under question. He's always trying to be controversial. And in the limelight for, being woke or whatever, it's like, bro, you ain't got to do all that. But that's all I got, Nathan. It's always a pleasure.
It is.
It's always a pleasure. And please just remind the haters that you quote my slang, not theirs. Ow!
Appreciate it. Throw me to the wolves, and I'll emerge leading the pack. Appreciate the call. 513-873. He got a problem with everybody. The only reason you got a problem with Cecil, is because he hasn't responded to you. I was trying to just help. I can't guarantee anything, but if you want me to reach out to him, if you really want him to be on your podcast, I'll reach out to him on your behalf. No guarantees, because that man does what he wants to do, but the purpose is to get him on the podcast, and then y'all can talk about all these things. I listen. I would listen to it, but I think Cecil's a good guy, overall, in my opinion. Let's go back to the phone, shall we? Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. It's Alicia. How are you?
Hey, Alicia. How are you? Good morning.
I am doing great. I am doing well. I am off today and listening to your show, and I am really enjoying your flow today.
Thank you.
But I felt I had to call in on Auntie Monique.
Okay.
And so, in this head bonnet thing, and so I think that she is like a lot of other Black people. You might want to call them elitists, but I think it's a lot of Black people. And if you'll bear with me, I think it's a secondhand embarrassment trying to resolve racism, as if the bonnet on their head makes Monique somehow less acceptable. It's the same with my naps on my hair. I wear my hair natural before natural was popular. And people would say, oh, that's so unprofessional. That doesn't look right. What are they going to think when you come to the job like that? They're going to think what I think, if naps were so unacceptable, then how come folks with perms work for me? And so I think it's a response to trying to be accepted by the masses. If we do this, they'll feel this way. If we just wear suits and not our pants sagging, it'll be this way for us. If we take off our bonnets, we'll be treated like this. No, we won't. We won't. So what somebody else chooses to do doesn't lessen us in any way. And if it was true, then people who didn't wear bonnets will somehow be ahead. They're not. When those ladies take off those bonnets, they own their own businesses. They are doctors, lawyers, and whatever. But I think sometimes people get the exterior mixed up with the worth of the person. And somehow we with Black people, we want us to wear suits, wear perms, don't listen to rap, all this other thing to make us more acceptable. Acceptable to whom? Do you disagree with that, Nathan?
I think you're 100% on point. I agree with everything you're saying.
Right. And so, being Black out here is hard, but we don't need to try to be one kind of Black. That makes it even harder on us. To be free is to be free in your choices. We don't have to all look alike. We don't have to all sound alike. And even if we did, there would be a larger group out there that still says, hey, y'all Black, y'all ain't worth nothing no way. Live your life and be free, and let that sister be free, and let that brother be free. It's okay. It's all right. That's all I had to say this morning, Nathan.
I appreciate the call. I
All
appreciate
right.
the
Have a
call.
great day.
Yeah, that's Alicia right here. Racker. I mean, she said it more eloquently than even I. She perfectly caught a lot of how I feel about it. Like that's Martin Luther King. If you look at any image, any photograph of Dr. King, he was always dressed to the nines. He always had his suit, his coat, his tie on, and in his leisure time, he was dressed old school, like a leisure dress shirt, slacks, dress shoes. And he got assassinated. They still hated his guts. This idea that because you dress a certain way that white folks is going to accept you is the dumbest shit. Black folks still trying to assimilate. It don't mean that. And that's the core of what I've been trying to say. That superficial shit don't matter. That's why are we doing that to ourselves? They do that to us. I think she nailed it right there. I think that call just nailed it. She nailed it. Run around here talking about you different because you don't wear a bonnet. You the same. We all the same. You ain't no less or more of a queen based upon the fact that you got a scarf on. It's who you are inside and what emanates, how you carry yourself. That's what makes you a king or a queen. Everybody love that term these days. That's what makes you a king and a queen, not the fact that you got a certain thing on. Shit, can't nobody, I don't care what I got on. I know who the fuck I am. I feel great about myself no matter what. I don't care what I got on. I have a t-shirt on. I can have a torn t-shirt on, some Rick slacks. I'm the same G no matter what. And can't nobody take that away from me. But I'm supposed to say that what Auntie Mo is saying is right. No, it needs to be shouted down. That's why I'm talking about it again. Somebody needs to have the courage to stand up and say, I get your point about looking your best in certain situations. I get it, but let's stop short of saying that you're less than because you wear a scarf or you wear a bonnet or you got some slippers on. Let's stop from doing that. That's part of the process. Great call. All right, great call. I thought she was 100% on point. But what do you think? 513-873-713 point. Racker, great call. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Nathan. It's Kev on the field.
Hey, what's up, Kev? What's up, man?
Trying to make it, brother. Trying to make it. It's another day. It's a great day. It's a beautiful day.
It is.
The rain is pouring down on my brand new installed flowers. I'm watching Mother Nature take care of business, and I'm enjoying it. A couple things today. All right. So first off, I can't really speak for or against Monique. Now I can speak for or against the bonnet thing, right? And it's not really to me about the bonnet. I don't care what you wear. That don't make any difference to me. That's not my business. What I do care about is the attitude you wear it with. So there's some folks out there, we're going to just keep it 100 and say that because it's not the bonnet that made you ratchet. You was ratchet before you put the bonnet on. You're going to be ratchet after you take the bonnet off. The attitude that goes with the bonnet, the scarf, the pajamas, all of that stuff. That's the only thing I care about. Like, if you carry yourself ratchet, you ratchet. Don't really matter what you wear. You put on a suit and be ratchet. It ain't changing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if we gonna give any grace, any peace to Monique, I think what she should have said is, look, I don't care what you're wearing, but if you acting like you ratchet, don't act like you ratchet. It's a bad look for all of us, and especially for you. There is nothing wrong with reaching out to our youth and our younger generation and giving them guidance. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Nathan. I don't care what nobody says. People shame people for doing the right thing. I was at Kings Island one day with my daughter. A young man was up in front of me. Young man was giving everybody the works. He was saying words that I was ashamed for him, for real. But what really was happening was he was doing that in front of my daughter. So I didn't really say, hey, man, you shouldn't do. I said, man, don't cuss in front of my baby. She don't cuss. I don't need you doing that like that. If your mama and your daddy was here, would you do it? And you know what he said? My apologies, sir. That's all. That's all. That's all. He was about maybe 12. 11 or 12, maybe 14. You know what I mean? He's a young man. And so, look, you need a little correction in public. I'm going to correct you. No problem. Now, Monique has a bully pulpit. When she lights a mic up, she can light the mic up. So, no, it's highly unlikely that if she had something to say that she felt was constructive criticism, she was going to do a one-on-one. She's going to use that bully pulpit just like my man, Mr. Nathan Ivey, would do. Now, he might go to them first and say something quietly to them, but then he'd bring it back to the show and he would say, man, let me tell you what happened to you yesterday at the airport, right? Maybe not about a bonnet, but about something else, right? And so I think we got to give a little bit of grace there. And to my brother saying, the only thing I hear LeBron asking for is equity for our people. I ain't got no problem with that, man. I don't have no problem at all with brothers or sisters, Miss Osaka as well. You know what I'm saying? Advocating for folk. You have, again, a bully pulpit. You have the opportunity to speak to the masses. And you should use that opportunity every chance you get. I don't care if if the president is in the middle of giving his address and they cut to LeBron in an interview and say what you think. If LeBron says something good about giving opportunities, those equity intangibles that you talk about for all people, then by God, keep doing that. If white folks ain't signing with black, for whatever reason, management, right? Then let's speak for that. Because guess what? There's a dollar attached to the white folks that could be part of his sports organization or whoever's sports organization as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Why we keep capping on people and breaking on people that are trying to break up for us? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me, bro. But I know that was a rant. I haven't spoken to you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Everything good?
Quickly. Yeah, everything's good, man.
Okay,
I'm blessed, man. Oh, great news. I'm going to be an African American on June 29th. They sending me to Amelia, though, bro. I'm wondering if it's a setup. I'm like, why y'all got me in Amelia?
What's in Amelia? Is it kind of like the processing place, or for folks who don't know, you'd be calling an American a citizen, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. They got me going to the Starlight Drive-In. I'm like, is it that many people? And why am I going to be in Amelia? I'm afraid. I'm not scared, but I'm afraid. Nah, man. Everything is going well, man. God continues to bless and I think that we need to, number one, we kind of got to get off our own backs too, especially when people are trying to help. Let's give a modicum of grace, right? We'll give just a little bit of grace to the people who are trying to do something in order to make us better as a people. And if you do it wrong, maybe the best thing we can do is take you to the sun and be like, that might not have been the best way to say that. And, I do agree with one thing. Well, I'm going to say it the way I'm going to say it, but, at one point from my recollection, I don't know Monique as a person, but she was pretty ratchet herself. So, there's part of her stand-up, she said it herself, was her reality, and some of that stuff wasn't all that kosher. So, but maybe she had growth, man. I mean, she thinks that this is part of her growth. I don't know. I just wish everybody the best, man. Keep in mind, again, I'm going to be voting this time. John, if you're out there and you can hear me, don't vote for Zorro. There's going to be a lot of, there is a lot of really important things going on, and no one's reaching out to the people in Winton Terrace, bro. That is part of the problem. That's part of the problem for the Democratic Party as a whole, to me, anyway. It just seems to me like, folks have got comfortable in, we're going to go after the college-educated folks in the nice neighborhoods because we don't want to walk in those neighborhoods where it's scary. but I think, but we as people, taking from Monique's example, may need to be the ones to reach out to those people and just say, hey, look, the strongest voice you have is your vote. Because quite frankly, as much as you yell from the bottom of the steps, nobody at the top of the steps can hear you. I appreciate the time, Nate, man. Be blessed. Yep. And we got to catch up, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Catch up for real.
Yeah, real soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know where you're from, real quick.
London, England.
London, England. That's right. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah. E5.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
You said you're going to be an African American later this month. That's Kev on the sale, man. Come on in, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll take Kev and give you I'm not sure. You fill in the blank. You tell me. I got to give props to one local Republican. You might be surprised. But first, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, live, local, and vocal, moving beyond bonnets. Why Black people struggle to get ahead collectively. That's the title of today's show, but there's a lot of stuff going on. We also got to talk about some updates on Biden did something that no other U.S. president has ever done this week. And there's some movement on the conversation, the national conversation about reparations. So I'll share that with you when we come back. 513-873-7134. I'll throw the number up there just in case somebody wants to give us a call this morning. Maybe I see we got a call on line. Please hold on, caller, or call me right back. Just about 3 minutes, and I'll put you right back on the line. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, where nothing is funnier than the truth. Men are allowed to be men. And, of course, sucker MCs get dealt with. We'll be right back.
Love interrupted by tragedy. Lost in the drought of nightfall. Running in search of the remedy, trying to find her place in it all. Focused only on the negative. All she can attract is pain. Perception is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter, but she ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know she'd rather keep her distance, but as time moves on, she's drifting away from me. But did the ocean breeze specify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself. On the run from yourself. Concrete will shape to quicksand. Just when you think you're in control, but you're not alone. Take my hand. No shame in the surrender to a bigger picture. Birds fly south for the winter, but you ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know you don't wanna burn bridges, but as time moves on, you slipping away from me. But did the ocean breeze pacify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself. On the run from yourself.
want to remind everybody that coming up on Thursday, that's tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., you can plug into the Black Landscapes Matter Town Hall. You can watch it live on Facebook. All you have to do is go to facebook.com, Common Strategies. That's COMMEN Strategies. Really be Common Strat. And you can watch the town hall live. They'll be talking about the Cincinnati gun range and what's the impact. And they got a nice panel put together. Carlton Collins, Deronce Daniels, Alicia Reese, Bishop Bobby Hilton, Renee Mahaffey Harris, and Samaya Bray. They'll all be having a conversation. I know those names are probably familiar to a lot of people that live in Cincinnati or here in Hamilton County. And I 100% the movement to move that gun range and any efforts to bring light and information, education about that. It's about the environment. It's about justice. It's about justice for Lincoln Heights. So I want to do my part to make sure I let you know about it. It's Thursday. That's tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I'll be sharing a link to all my Facebook friends in the friends page and my personal page as well, the day of the event. That'll be tomorrow. So just plug in. All right, good morning, everybody. Let's get back to it. You got me until about 9:30. As I said earlier today, I got to make a move. I've got a dentist appointment, and I've got some other things that I must take care of before now and then, so I got to make a move. So the show ended a little bit early today so I can accommodate my schedule, so I can take care of what I need to, and then have enough time to get out to make my dentist appointment. I mean, doing this business, if anybody does anything and you're using your voice, you got to make sure you have to make sure you're healthy. Like part of show prep, let me just share something with you. A part of good show prep for any performer is making sure you're healthy. And I use my mouth to get your mind out the gutter. That's my livelihood. So having good oral health, and I mean 100% oral health, is key to being a good performer. If you're a podcaster, if you're a vocal artist or whatever, you already know what I'm talking about. That's the number one. People say, well, how do you do show prep? Working out every day, making sure you hydrated. There's some exercise you can do that I do as well. I can share with you. Hit me with a DM. I'm ready to do that. But making sure that your teeth and your gums and all that stuff is healthy is a part of being a good podcaster. It's a part of being superlative at what you do. And I always want to be superlative. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go straight to the phones. We got a call on the line. Hey, good morning and welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Glenn. Welcome.
Hey, well, first of all, let me say congratulations to Kev, man. I've always liked Kev since the first time he called in. So you sound like a good brother. So congratulations.
Yeah, he is a good brother.
But I also wanted to back him up because I listened to Fame's call. And I think he completely misrepresented what Rich Paul had to say. And I read that article, Nate. I want to say it was either in Forbes or the Wall Street Journal, because I actually read it this weekend. And it was an extensive article. And it's ironic that we're talking about bonnets and things. This is a little side note, because the interviewer, he was saying how Rich Paul does his business basically like a little side house, like the guest house or whatever on his property. And he said when he came in for the interview, he's like, he got on some sandals, a Nike shirt, and some shorts, and he said that's how he does business. But getting back to Fame, and he talked about how LeBron James and Rich Paul and Clutch Sports want to throw out this narrative about, white athletes and black agents. And his point is that these athletes, especially the black athletes, all their lives, all they've seen as white men, the assistant white coach, the white head coach, the white head coach will hook him up with, that white agent or a friend of that agent. And that's what he was talking about, how white athletes don't want to have a black agent. And what he said ironically, and this is in the article, he said he has European athletes, signed with Clutch Sports because they have a different attitude than white American athletes. Now, can't you see that, Nate? Can't you see that mentality?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know why Fame, once again, and this is like some alt-middle thing, keep your head down, don't make any noise. What did you expect when you would say something pro-black type? I don't get that. And I've told you this before. You know, I'm like everybody else. I grew up a huge Michael Jordan fan. You couldn't tell me a damn thing bad about Michael Jordan. But then I became an adult and I grew up and I started critically thinking. And this whole idea that Republicans buy shoes too, and that's just a one-off quote, no, that's going to leave a mark. That's a brown stain in Michael Jordan's tighty whities that's going to stay there for a long ass time. And it wasn't until the little film that he had that he came out and finally admitted it because he lied about it for years. Remember that, Nate? Just like he lied about
I don't remember him lying about it. I don't remember him lying about it.
No, he said that he didn't say it for years. You know, it was like it was like the Kennedy assassination. You know, it was a conspiracy. Like Michael never really said it. No, he did say that. And I always say, at no other time in an athlete's history could you have taken a side on the behalf of Harvey Gantt against a racist segregationist like Jesse Helms in your own state of North Carolina. You know what it reminds me of? It's kind of like wearing a freaking Smedium t-shirt when you got Yvette Simpson and John Cranley running against each other. What's that you claiming? You feel me? What's that you claiming? I told you, Nate, we got 4 years worth of evidence.
Russia's never going to live that down.
And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. Wait a minute. Let me repeat this. You got brothers out there wearing Smedium John Cranley t-shirts protesting an NAACP meeting full of black folks, and you got a sister running against a white guy that you wearing little small-ass t-shirts you got from Gabe. Am I lying or flying, Nate? It should leave a mark. It should keloid and shit. Like a little, yeah, like Drew Brees. You should have a little spot on your cheek. It's like the sign of a buster. So yeah, but like I said, I wanted to back Kev up. And again, I'm an LeBron James fan. Damn, I can't even get it out. I'm trying to speak too fast. I'm a LeBron James fan, but you know what, Nate? It's about much more than what he does on the basketball court with me and LeBron. I love the way he hooked his boys up. And it wasn't about, and then again, going back to this article, when LeBron James signed his first contract, Nate, he signed Rich Paul. He paid him $45,000 a year. $45,000 a year. And LeBron said this is an investment in somebody because he said it was something about him. Just the way he spoke to people, the way he was able to collaborate, the way he talked no nonsense. He was from the hood. He knows all the traps that can happen. He talked about the family and the extended family, and they just talked about how it's much more than just signing a contract with Clutch Sports. They're teaching them how to spend their money wisely, to invest their money wisely. How this 5-year career that you might have, it might only last 5 years, and you're retired before you're 30 years old. What did you do with that money? Teaching these athletes to use the money that you get from endorsements. Leave your NBA contract alone. A lot of athletes are doing this. They're just spending their endorsement money. I mean, you're talking about what? These guys, they're making 6 figures in endorsement. 7 figures in endorsement. So why spend your NBA money? But so again, it was a great article. I don't know what the hell Fame read, but it's kind of like that whack ass poem that he had about 3 weeks ago. Shit just didn't seem right. But I just wanted to get that out there, man. You know how it is, Nate. I'm about to get to work, man. So in the end, hopefully they getting what I'm spitting. Petty peace.
Appreciate it. That's the host of the Politically Petty podcast. Check it out. I don't know if Ken was on there or not. Ken Anderson can't stand me. I don't know why. But I think I tried to hook them up years ago. So now they finally are hooking up and doing like a debate thing years after I suggested it. So I think it's going to be great. I haven't heard it. I'm sure it's spectacular. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting, man. I appreciate Fame bringing that to my attention about Rich Paul, who's the agent. He's like a super agent. He says that white American athletes don't want to work with a black agent. I like to talk to black lawyers because I can imagine the same phenomenon happening with black lawyers. Like I can see people getting all in their feelings about race. Like, I got to get me a white lawyer to represent me. I can see that. I want the best lawyer, you know what I'm saying? And be honest with you, I'd rather have somebody to understand me, represent me. But I can see that. I can see that in the world that we live in. I don't think it really makes a difference. To me, if I was an agent, I wouldn't care. I'll be honest with you. With my mentality, I would probably prefer a black agent. That's just me. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for somebody that's going to deliver, black or white. If you deliver, cool. Black, white, Asian, Korean, I don't give a damn what it is. It would make no difference. And it seems like Rich Paul is delivering. What's up, son? Okay. Have a good day, man. How'd you sleep? Good. You slept good? Good. That's good to hear. All right, let me check you out. Where's that comb at, man? Here, take this brush. She already did? Okay. All right. Have a good day. You're looking good. See, it's the boy right there. All right, let's go back to the phones and say good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, Nathan, it's Nicole. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nicole.
I wanted to tell you, I missed seeing him. I could hear him in the background. So happy Tuesday, I guess, to everybody. I'm actually on vacation, so I'm like out of the phone and stuff, but I'm still listening to the Nathan Ivy show, and as usual, the show is hot. And I want to hear what you got to say about reparations because I was on the road yesterday and I missed a lot of that. So I'm going to make this real quick. But I don't know what it is about this subject with the bonnet. And people got to understand that it's really bigger than a bonnet. It's more of a mindset and an adoption of what our culture is. Someone keeps saying, that I guess the critiques is coming off elitist. But to me, it's absent of that because our culture, our African culture has always respected the elders, right? And we was always open to the wisdom of the elders. And so for this generation to have this type of ego that is so big that the narrative becomes, you can't tell me nothing. I think it's destroying us. We can't be so oblivious or just so hell bent on a certain way that we're unable to hear wisdom from the elders. And this whole mind your business, turn your back, just worry about you, it's what's hurting us. It's not helping us. That it's pretty much, that mindset that turns neighborhood to the hood because there is no unity in that community. There is no village. And it used to be that's an African culture. And so to me, it's more assimilating to this mindset of everybody do you and everything else and not coming as a collective because we're responsible of building a nation, African people. And it isn't for them. I think that's the misunderstanding people are getting to think that we do these things so they can accept. No, you do these things for you. You do these things for your own mindset. It was Chris Rock in one of his comedies that said, I love black people. I love them. But I hate, he said, I hate N-words. And everybody know what we talking about. This whole adoption of generational poverty and like, that's just what we are. That's what we were putting. You go from a mindset from being trained that you were an animal, second class, to breaking the lie of white supremacy, knowing that you not only have the ability to be great and greater than your oppressor, but that you have the ability to be professionals, millionaires, billionaires, 2 or 3 times over. And it's breaking this whole mentality that we are less than. And so that's been part of the mindset or the feeling from our culture in America, what was native to us from that essence, stepping out of something that we were always told that we were. And so when, even to this day, when somebody was saying something about second embarrassment or something like that, it's kind of almost ingrained in us because, first it was the fight, like to learn how to read, to educate yourself, to be better, that don't just stay dummy down and everything else. And now it's just like, because we've been beat down so much that, some of us, we excel, and then some of us, we just willing to settle. And I think the sister said like yesterday, just take a very lazy approach. Whatever. This is who I am. This is what And when you trying to show someone better or tell someone better, it ain't a knock on them. It's to raise them and elevate them to who they are, to let them know that they're more than that. And not to say that they're not anything right now, but there's nothing wrong with us turning around and grabbing and bringing people up. You know what I mean? It's just like Michelle Obama said, when you reach a certain status, you don't close your door. You don't close the door on people. You open the door and you bring them up. And so, I take that in the same respect of when I'm doing the work with the NAACP and I'm speaking to youth and speaking to students, I use that opportunity every chance I get to spread wisdom, to spread love. And even in the last class we had with the North Avondale students, I remember some of the last things I told them is how much we love them and conflict resolution. Thinking about what happened to the students at Aiken, the young girls that stabbed each other. Like, I don't want to hear on the news, somebody getting shot or somebody getting, like, to learn how to walk away, learn how to use your words to communicate with each other instead of getting physical and everything else. And that was not to say that that's what they were, that all y'all are is a bunch of bad little kids and all y'all want to do is shoot and kill. I could have been speaking amongst honor roll students like your child or whatever, but it had to be said. It had to be said just for those who, that could be the situation. And hopefully those words ring out like, hey, it's getting ugly. Let me just walk away. It might save a life. If I just sit around and just be sugarcoating things and just minding my business, I could be letting a baby die. And I can't do that. And I won't do it. So for me, it's a little bit different. I'm thinking in a different mindset. Is not to knock anybody. I feel like if I'm not saying anything, I don't really care. And I don't even want to have that type of mindset because I love all of my people. You know what I'm saying? When I'm out there, I ain't afraid of my people. I ain't afraid to walk in any hood. I could talk. I feel like I could talk to anybody. I could go amongst anybody and everything else. There's some people that's scared. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to walk in certain neighborhoods. They ain't going to talk to certain people. I feel like I could go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because these people, everybody, whatever, they look like my family. So why would I be scared of my family? You know what I mean? So that's just the point I'm trying to make, is that we can't step away from our culture and respecting the elders, and we shouldn't dare confuse that or say that that's a leader's position. We should always welcome the wisdom. When we're disconnected from our past, our future is doomed to be destroyed. It's doomed to be self-destructive, and we can't even listen to the wisdom of our elders, even if it's a critique that we don't like. So that's all I got, brother.
Okay, TNT, I appreciate you. Yep, have a good day. Appreciate the flows. Always appreciate TNT's call. Always. Well, what I would say about that is, just as a response is, yeah, I agree with that. We should be open to the critiques of our elders. But there's a difference between a critique from an elder and what Monique said. Monique said, you're not something unless you live up to what she thinks. That's not a simple critique. That's not what Patti LaBelle said to her. Monique said that you're not a queen if you don't dress the way I think you should dress. That's what my issue is. That's what my issue is. Certainly, we should be open to listen to the elders, but the elders have a responsibility to come correct. You just can't say anything to anybody just because you might have a point. Where they do that at? I ain't going for that. People have critiqued me. I'm open for it. But depending on how you come at me will depend on whether I can even hear you. It's called tact. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna walk to somebody and say, sister, you ain't being a queen because you got a bonnet on? She was dead wrong for that. She was dead wrong for projecting her little personal viewpoint onto somebody and then try to put a cap on them because they don't dress or look the way you think they should. I just saw this video of Monique. Monique still got a ways to go in terms of her body goals. Would it be fair for somebody to tap her on the shoulder and say, look, sis, I mean, can't you do better than this? You know you're not being your queen self. That's essentially what she said. And she's wrong for that. She's dead wrong. She's dead wrong. There's no right about it. And we should not do that to one another. It's one thing to tell somebody on the shoulder and say, hey, listen, I want to help you out here. It's another to tell somebody on the shoulder and tell you less than, unless you live up to my personal standard. Are you going for that? I ain't going for that. I ain't even gonna be able to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. This is Miss Love Being Black.
Hey, Mrs. Love Being Black. How are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm doing great.
That's great. I was just calling in real quick. The picture of Wind Tears, apparently, according to my sources over there, a lady was pulling out guns on children. So the FBI and all of them came and raided her spot, and they still out there pulling stuff out of her house.
Wow.
So that's what's going on in Wind Tears.
Wow.
But just listening to the topic today, I want to say this is a beautiful topic. And I like the way you spin the topic on it's beyond the bonnets. We moving beyond the bonnets because it's more to it. Like when I first heard about the statement, when Monique said, I didn't hear her actual statement at first. When I first heard about the statement, I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with it? Yeah, we should go and approach one another and teach one another how to be our better self and take wisdom from one another. Then when I actually heard the statement myself, I was like, who give her the right to tell people they're less than? Because like you just said, and I think you worded that beautifully, it's your approach, like working in education. And the reason why some teachers have different response from different children is their approach. When you approach them with respect, my thing is respect yourself by respecting others. So if I look at you the way I'm looking at me and we on equal playing field, no matter if I feel like I'm a person of authority and you're a child or what, if I treat you with the same respect that I'm expecting myself to receive, then my approach is going to be different. It's going to be out of love. It's going to be out of building you up, not tearing you down to build you up. Because tearing people down, once you tear them down, they can't hear you no more. They're done with you. You get the backlash like we're going to counsel you. That's why you got that. But like you said, if she would approach those sisters right then and talk to them sisters right then, and then talk about in a testimonial way versus in a chastising way, then maybe people would have been able to hear her as auntie. Because when you come down to being an auntie, which put you at an elder position, you got to understand there is a difference. Like Fame was saying, being elite and talking down to people versus building people up and being that uncle and being that auntie. Because my aunties and stuff, when they schooled me, they didn't school me by tearing me down. They lifted me up and then threw those jewels on me. So therefore, that's how you were able to receive it. And just going by recapping everything today, not to talk so much, but how Black Russia said, wearing a bonnet on your head, you're going to be out here single and all that stuff. But it was a meme that was funny. They said the first one who had the bonnet was from one of the Bernstein Bears. Mama Bear had a bonnet on everywhere she went, and she had a husband and children, and she was rocking it out. So you can't really go by that, saying that. And it is so funny, like, just to hear the different opinions and stuff. It's hilarious. Like yesterday, I said, I'm going to try it. I have never been out in public with a bonnet on my head. So I was doing my hair. So I was like, I got dye still in my hair. It's dripping a little bit. So I'm going to put this bonnet on and go get my nails done just to see how I feel. Needless to say, me personally didn't feel comfortable. So by the time before I left out of the nail shop, my whole hair was done and the bonnet was off because I didn't feel right. When I walked through, I just didn't feel right personally. Now, what other people do and have, that's them. And what I say about yourself, if it don't feel right for you, then you change within you that don't feel right, because he chastised those that he loves, speaking of the Most High. So therefore, personally inside of you, you got the things that's called a conscience to let you feel and understand what's right for you and what's wrong for you. And if it don't feel right, then don't do it. And I feel that's why Monique keeps following up with these videos, because she probably realized what she did wasn't right and the right way to do it. So now she's trying to clean it up by saying, Auntie love you, this, and that. Because I'm looking at her in that workout outfit doing a public announcement. I feel like that's very inappropriate to be dressing, trying to address a situation where you're telling other people how to dress. Then you come in your 9, you come in your 10, you come presentable as you trying to have everybody else come. Dress like a queen, as you quote, before you approach a situation telling people how to dress. So those are the things that I want to hit on. I feel like everybody is right. We do need to listen to our elders, but our elders need to understand how to speak to the youth so they can hear. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you for the
Have a
call.
good one.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. That's Mrs. Love being black. Yeah, I mean, shit. I grew up old school. Hip hop. I say hip hop generation because I claim, generations have been defined by the most culturally significant thing that happened within that generation. For me, that was the evolution, the creation of hip hop. Y'all can say Generation X if you want to, but all you're doing is whitewashing our culture and our history. Hip hop generation. So, I was a little bit of that post civil rights. I got all that good Southern black love and all that kind of shit. Yeah, but you still have to approach people with a certain standard as well, or they won't be able to hear you. So yeah, we should definitely always listen to the elders. But the elders need to understand that just because, number one, and again, my grandfather taught me this. And I've never forgotten it. Just because you older don't mean you get respect. He told me it's some of these older people out here that act like children, and you don't have to respect them. My grandfather, man, who I respected and still to this day still get teared up looking at old photographs of him and my grandmother. He told me to my face, he said, listen, if my mother don't treat you with respect, you ain't got to treat her with respect. This is my grandfather. So just because you older don't mean you automatic. It depends on how you act, how you come at me. And I come at everybody with love and respect. I don't care who you are. You can have a bonnet on your head, you can have a suit on, you can be black, you can be white. And of course, with black people, I come with that black love. But I don't disrespect nobody. You ain't gonna never hear me and see me disrespecting nobody. I just don't do that. What does that give me? It don't give me anything. I got to make a move real quick. So let's take one last call before we roll. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, dear brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. Sister Iris. Welcome.
Thank you so very much. So let me just interject into this conversation, which is really, really good and speaks to who I am as a grown woman. I am in junior elder training every morning. Elders are not just born, they are trained and they understand the responsibility, the value, the spirituality, the building of one's nation. This is culturally speaking. So I think that what we do is we use these terms interchangeably without the correct understanding of the behavior that is attached to them, right? So one is trained to be an elder. Just simply because of your age does not make you an elder. And I think that that's what we're speaking of. When you talk to someone that has been trained to understand the community, know the community, and know its role as an elder, then that type of conversation in a very loving but very clear and direct way can occur. I do it all the time. All the time. But that means that I have to be trained in order to understand my role and how to step into the eldership. It's not just simply by age. And we all have had them in our family, so we get it. But the separation, the destruction of the Black family has not given us the opportunity to understand what eldership means in our development in this world, in this time, wherever we are. We are supposed to lean into the wise ones. They are the elders, but they would understand that role. And because we've been conditioned to believe that you can't hear someone because they may be older than you, or that that person hasn't been trained to speak to you in a way that you need to hear it and receive it, because you got to be open to being able to receive some things. I see young sisters all the time that I step to, but because I'm trained in how to communicate, because I don't know where they're coming from, and you're exactly right. Kev was exactly right. Sometimes it's the behavior. And so what I am stepping to is the behavior. To hell with the dress, it's the behavior. And what we're seeing in our young folk, because I have them too. I have still have young children in their 20s, and I have grandchildren now. So I see the behavior that's attached to certain music, that's attached to certain dress, because society is conditioning, and we're not unconditioning or controlling the conditioning of our young people as to what to believe, what is right. How do you grow in this world? How do we build them? How do we pour into them culturally of who they are and what they want to give back into the world? That requires training and understanding who you are in your community, in this society. I do it all the time, every day, every single day. When sisters call and they want help, there's a way to hear, and then there's a way to give. But elders are training. I just wanted to be very, very clear about that. Elders are spiritually based. They're value driven. They understand the culture. They understand what we are up against. They are clear about what is dividing us in this world where we are. So yes, we can't be hurt. So all this extra, we're adding extra things that we really don't need, because as we are divided, we will be destroyed. We are all we have. No one can tell a black man about being a black being a black man besides a black woman or another black man. Nobody else can do that. We need to respect that connection of our DNA. We need to understand what that means. Some of us have grown up with elders in our family who are wise as hell, who only went to the third grade, right? And who would never, ever bring shame or chaos into the family. Their role is to unwind that so that the children can understand their role and who they are and their responsibility to the family. This is deeper than just what Monique said, although she scratched the surface, because sometimes when I see things, and I'm looking at my young sisters with children, when you asked the question the other day, are we embarrassed? Yeah, I am when children are involved, because I'm embarrassed for the children, because they don't understand what's happening. And oftentimes, they are in the middle of the chaos without even understanding it. Nobody is telling them, this is what's happening. Right? So we have to understand that. And I just want us to be very clear about what eldership means in this society, what eldership means in our community, and how we should revere it and hold on to it, as opposed to saying nobody can tell me anything. Well, who can? If my lived experience and my training can assist you in having a better quality of life, then whom should you listen to? I wanted to know, and I put in the chat the other day, what entertainer made it famous to wear a bonnet outside? I mean, bonnets have been around forever. That's something we would never do. Just like we grew up, when I grew up, we never wanted to wear, Carhartt or Timberland. We didn't want to wear the uniforms. We wanted to be our own individual selves. But somebody made it acceptable to wear a uniform. Somebody made it acceptable for your pants to be sagging. That wasn't part of our culture before. Somebody made that acceptable to us. So the question to me would be, why are we so easily led? Why are we so easily distracted? Why can't we build for ourselves? Why can't we see the beauty of us in one another? Why can't we take care of one another? Why can't we own and control and begin to determine what our destiny is for our children and our children's children? Why can't we be in service to our blackness and to ourselves? Part of that is understanding the elderhood and the eldership and what their role is. No, it's not just anyone. And no, anyone should not just walk up to you and disrespect you because of what you have on. That might be all you have. There's a difference there. To be trained to see people, not of them, but to see them. You don't know. But there is a way to have these conversations. And it should not be in service to us being further apart. These conversations should pull us together. That, at the end of the day, when I talk to children, whether I'm talking to them about public safety, their lives, education, children, marriage, self-determination, It is in service to us so we can come closer together. That's what elders do. That's what they do. And that's what they're trained to do. So we just can't use words and not understand that there's a right to a passage here. And in society, in this flow, in this eco, that our flow is being disrupted every second of every moment when we destroy those relationships. When I'm listening to it saying nobody can tell me nothing. What? What? Nobody? So my lived experience, if I'm talking to a young sister about not having children until she's mentally, emotionally, financially ready, until she's done all that she wanted to do. And the same with young brothers. What is it? Who are you? What do you feel? What do you want? These are the things that we should be cultivating in our communities, not taking what Monique said and further dividing us, but taking what Monique said and figuring out what's true in that and how can we? Because, yes, some of our babies, I see young girls, 14, 15, they all got on the fuzzy slippers. They all looking alike with the bonnets on their head. And I'm thinking, okay, well, so what's up under all that? And who told them to follow that leader? Why are we making the bonnet man rich? Do we own bonnets? Are we making the bonnets?
Hey, Iris, I got to make a move. I appreciate the
you,
flows.
dear brother. I appreciate you. Be well. Have a powerful day.
Yeah, most def.
So
most def. Great way to end the show. I appreciate that. Listen, damn, I wish I could stay longer, but there's something I need to take care of before I get to this dentist appointment. And man, I wish I could stay because, for me, like I said, moving beyond the bonnet, it's deeper than just a bonnet. It's just a springboard to a deeper cultural conversation. And I feel like people got into it. I appreciate all the comments. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. Although I say that from time to time, I just want to be your friendly neighborhood agent provocateur and stir that pot, get us to thinking early in the morning. If you like this kind of programming, then hit me with a share. Share this on your page or on Facebook, wherever you think people might get into it. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7:30 a.m. and we'll chop it up. All right. Remember our motto. Say it with me. Winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. I'm Nathan Ivy. Until next time, I'm out.